Goose. Good morning, Toronto. Today, Tuesday, August the 18th, and a bit of a chillier start. So if you are heading out the door this morning, make sure to not forget a little light sweater, maybe a blazer, a little sweater, sporting some action there from you. Because we compare goosebumps and arm hair all morning long. Yes, we do.
Yep. I've got more hair, you've got more goosebumps.
I don't know, I feel like they even out a little bit. But it's going to warm up. Frankie will give us the forecast in just a bit. Let's talk about this. This is making the rounds online. When you hear Wuhan, you know that this was the beginning of the coronavirus, or at least where we heard most of the beginnings of the coronavirus, on lockdown for 76 days. You wouldn't necessarily think of this. Have a look at these visuals.
Oh, wow.
See this, Steve? Thousands of people here, packed in a water park. This is an electronic music festival in Wuhan. There are no masks. There is no social distancing. Wuhan, by the way, with a population of 11 million. Not saying 11 million were at this by any means, but this is very much in contrast to what we were seeing back in, let's say, March. The city hasn't reported a new case since mid-May. This water park actually reopened in June. The rainy season, though, kept people away. They weren't there. Very different from when we saw that state-imposed lockdown. So when you see these visuals, does it give you hope? Does it give you question? How do you feel when you see it?
All of that, I think. It's mixed emotions. First off, that water park looks absolutely insanely awesome.
It actually does.
You know, and to be able to do a festival like that as someone who performs on stage and does parties and things, that would be mind-blowing. That'd be great when things were quote-unquote normal, right? It gives me a little bit of
anxiety, a bit.
Yeah, some nerves and things, because 2 weeks from now or a week from now, what's that going to look like? They say they haven't had a new case there that's been reported since May. Is that going to change? You see something like that, you know, knowing what we know now, will we ever get to that point out here where people want to do that? You know, there is that urge and desire to have things like that happening again, but I don't know. There's mixed emotions seeing that.
Absolutely. I know one of the bigger questions. Let's bring in Melissa. I think you're standing by, Mel, in the newsroom. Is when I saw that, the initial thing I thought was, this can't be real. Right? Yeah. These images are fake. And then we went back, sourced all of this. These are real, very much real. How do you feel when you see these images?
Oh, it is stunning. And also just to think what the people of Wuhan went through. You know, when they were on lockdown, they could not leave their homes. And for such a dramatic turn to happen, you can imagine they've been feeling like, let us out, let us have some fun. What it could be, too, is a real test. You know, what you've been kind of saying there is what's going to happen after this. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, we've been seeing parties like that, especially out of the U.S. lately, but not something you would think out of Wuhan, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So let's get Frankie's take on this. Frank, you've seen the images, I know, as well. Massive pool party, thousands in attendance. That feels, you know, like very, very far future for something here in Toronto.
Yeah, you know, are those types of parties socially acceptable? Like when you see those pictures, will they become acceptable later on? Are we changing our habits? Are we getting into smaller groups where we think that's okay? There's all those questions, and it just seems really strange. It just doesn't seem right. There's so many things that you know, a picture like that, I'm like, really? That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, chime in with us at BT Toronto. Let us know what you think. I don't think anyone's dipping in a pool this morning, Frankie. Maybe a little bit later on.